call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Diego Ferreira takes on Bobby Green this Saturday at UFC 319. And this is another one of those fights on this card where it's, two crafty veterans, some guys getting up there in age, tons of experience in the UFC squaring off against each other. So I'm looking forward to this one. I think this one's got a lot of potential. Could be a banger on the feet, could go to the ground, but I think this has got a lot of fight of the night potential between both of these guys. So King Green, Bobby Green, 32-17 in his career. He's 38 years old, 5'10" with a 71-inch reach. Diego Ferreira is 40 years old, 5'9", with a 74-inch reach. So Ferreira is going to be an inch shorter, but he's going to have a 3-inch reach advantage, and he's going to be 2 years older than Bobby Green. So Diego Ferreira, really good boxing, straight, crispy punches, good front teep kicks to the stomach, good chin, can take a shot. He's pretty gritty, has a really good scrambling ability that we've seen. That's why I picked him in his last fight against Grant Dawson, but he was just kind of held down in that fight. Couldn't really get any of his scrambles going that we saw like against Gamrot or Gregor Gillespie. But he's a third-degree jiu-jitsu black belt, tons of experience in the UFC, so can finish you on the feet, can finish you on the ground. Bobby Green, more of a striker, decent takedown defense, but kind of one of those guys with his hands down, looking to throw hands and kind of talk trash while he's at it. But Green's coming off of multiple finished losses. And so that's why I'm going to go with Ferreira in this one. Coming off of an awful knockout to Mauricio Hufi back in March. So 5 months ago was face plant knocked out. Before that was triangle choke by Paddy Pimblett. Had a good back and forth fight with Jim Miller where he won a decision. But Jim Miller had his moments in that fight, but then was knocked out by Jalen Turner before that. So taking a lot of damage in these last few fights that he's had. Been knocked out several times. I think he's been KO'd or TKO'd like 4 times in the last 3 years. So he can be finished on the feet, he can be finished on the ground, and Diego Ferreira, he's just too much, he has too much finishing potential anywhere this fight goes for me not to pick against him. Even though he is older, even though he is coming off of a loss, Bobby Green just, I think his chin's kind of gone. I don't think he's nowhere near the level of the grappler and submission artist that Diego Ferreira is. Diego Ferreira had such a gritty performance against Mateusz Rumbetsky in 2024, knocked out Michael Johnson before that, so didn't have the best performance against Grant Dawson, but I don't see Bobby Green really shooting takedowns and trying to hold Diego Ferreira on the ground, and if he does, I think he's going to get reversed, ground and pounded, things like that. So I'm going to go with Ferreira. I think he can finish him on the feet. I think he can hurt him, get him to the ground, sub him there. I think he can shoot takedowns and work his submission game on the ground. I just think he's more durable at this point in both of their careers. Diego Ferreira had a fight of the year candidate with Rumbetsky where he was getting hurt and was able to come back and win that fight in the 3rd round. So his cardio has been a concern at times. But the Rumbetsky fight, he was able to get hurt, push back, and get the finish in that fight. And even like the Gregor Gillespie, the Mateusz Gamrot fights, I think a couple of those, or at least one of those, he took on short notice, but those are really grappling heavy fights against really good wrestlers. And I don't think this is going to be a fight that's at such a high pace, to where he's defending takedowns and having to scramble and strike and grapple and all that to get him really tired. So I'm going to go with Diego Ferreira in this one. I think he can get the finish. I think he can knock out Bobby Green on the feet or get him to the ground and get the submission, but I am going to go with Diego Ferreira to get this one done by finish. He's a -200 favorite, which I agree with, but I don't think Green, he's obviously got a puncher's chance. Diego Ferreira has been finished on the feet, but been a while since he's been finished on the feet. I think it was Dustin Poirier 10 years ago finished him on the feet. Other than that, had a ground and pound loss at Gregor Gillespie where he just couldn't get up, was kind of pinned, was gassed, and then the Gamrot fight, I think he submitted on the ground because he broke his rib or something. So I'm going to go for Ferreira, just a little bit tougher, better chin, all around better mixed martial artist, and I trust him to get this one done by finish. Thanks.